Welcome back to Weekend Prime. Let's now take a look at what is happening in business. And more than 60% of Nairobi residents are living in unhealthy and unsafe quarters due to shortage of good houses. With majority of buildings in Nairobi meant for housing due to growth demand, it results in poorly built projects that are unsafe structurally and indoor spaces. Professionals in the building sector have said that graft, delayed contract documentation and funding gaps are the key issues propelling irregularities. Here is KTN's Esther Diana with the details.
But the number of sick buildings and very bad, poor quality buildings that are being lived in right now and are standing by the grace of God are crazy. And I would urge, for example, the media to literally start exposing these dark rooms and non-ventilated spaces, and people are slowly dying and being non-productive living in these spaces just because they have no better alternative.
Stakeholders in the built space have been criticized for lagging behind in professional advocacy and sitting back until after buildings collapse to take action. With corruption in the sector at its highest level, lenders, insurers and sector players have been urged to take every approval with caution.
Most all construction projects start with money. We need to ring fence that industry from the sources of the funds. There's a lot of unscrupulous behaviors going on, and what is happening is that they are taking advantage of the process that are not being followed.
To safeguard investments into the sector, players say that it is critical to protect the sources of funding. This way, investments will be safe from unethical developers, contractors, and builders who pose as professionals.
The gaps for the country as a whole is manpower. And then the different institutions and different players in the industry, our rules overlap.
As the landscape changes, we realize that there are some risks that are not quite well or rather effectively addressed by those traditional insurance products. One of those risks is regulatory or rather delays in completion of projects.
Delayed contract documentation and approvals, graft and funding gaps have been identified as key issues propelling irregularities in the sector.
You can build very fast, get the money. And indeed, there are people who want to live in these houses. In fact, the fact that people are living in these bad houses doesn't mean that people appreciate bad houses. It's because we don't have enough good houses.
County development control departments have been faulted as highly incapacitated, intentionally slow in executing statutory processes, and corrupt. In this regard, stakeholders have reiterated the need to future-proof projects to counter illegal transactions and ensure safety of buildings. Esther Diana, KTN, Nairobi.
Safaricom has unveiled a FinTech 2.0, an upgrade of M-Pesa